Hey guys, it's Ben again. Just want to share a quick thought today for you on the topic of relationships. Of course, relationships can mean many things. A relationship with an actual person, a relationship with nature, a relationship with spirit, of course, a relationship with yourself. And as a licensed marriage family therapist, I strongly advocate for relationships and the need to cultivate happy and successful relationships, including those that I mentioned already, the obvious ones being with other people, but then also maybe the less obvious ones, relationship with the world, community, self, spirit, things like that. Well, to be brief today, there's a movie I've always loved. It's called The Enchanted Cottage. There's been several variations of it, I think, throughout the last century as far as how it's been portrayed cinematically, but my favorite version is the 1945 version. And it's a really sweet story. It tells the story of a man named Oliver Bradford, who's a wounded war vet. And he's so overcome and distraught by his wounds and how much they have influenced the way that he looks physically, and then how he perceives himself in the eyes of others. He basically just turns inward and runs. He leaves his fiancée, he leaves his mom, and he decides to retire to this seaside cottage and just basically waste away. And while he's in this cottage, he meets this plain woman. She's a maid. Her name is Laura Pennington. And they begin to talk. And it's beautiful how the movie portrays this evolution of their connection, because she's this very plain and homely looking maid, and he's this wounded, disfigured war vet. And they both feel deep down that they're just not attractive. They're not good enough in the eyes of other people. And yet, as you see the movie progress and their story progress, as they be vulnerable and talk and get to know each other more, all of a sudden, all of their imperfections, we might say, are gone. And in the movie, you see her as this beautiful woman, and you see him as this very handsome and well-carried man. And towards the end of the movie, Mrs. Minute, who's kind of the landlord of this seaside cottage, points out that their views of one another have changed the way they appear physically. Meaning, the deeper their love had grown for one another, the more their beauty increased. And she then goes on to describe how that's the enchantment of this cottage. When two people really love one another, all their imperfections and their flaws fade away. And so then what remains? All their strengths, all their beauties, who they really are. And that's really the mantra here for the day, for that relationship maybe that you want to see some growth or movement in. Beauty grows as love deepens. And that beauty doesn't just mean physical. That beauty can mean many other things as well. And I think as individuals, as we choose to find ways ourselves to love who we are and who we really can become, we might stop noticing our imperfections and our weaknesses and maybe find ourselves enchanted. Have a great day.